Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, Ma'am Ayu. My name is Rama Faidzin, and my friend Henny Prabowo. We are going to do the IELTS test in order to fulfill the midterm assignment. So, without further ado, let us start. Hello, good morning. What is your name?
Good morning. My name is Henny Prabowo.
Okay, Mr. Henny Prabowo. So we are going to do an IELTS test, and the topic is about getting lost. So let us start. So can you please describe a time when you got lost?
I always get lost, I think, but this story is, I think I choose this story. So it happened when I was in high school. I think it was 3 years ago or 2 or 3 years ago. So I was going to my friend's house. The location is at the Pondok Makmur. It's called Pondok Makmur. And I arrived at Pondok Makmur on the main road. So I enter the main road, and then I face the first intersection of the main road. And that area, and in that area, I got lost. Don't get me wrong, because I've been there for several times. I think it was my 5 times to go Faris' house, but I always got lost. So I was go I was there alone, go there alone, went there alone. So it was pretty embarrassing for me to get lost again and again and again. So yeah, I feel frustrated. So myself refused to call my friends. His name is Paris. I refuse myself. I'm refusing myself to call him to pick me up at the first intersection. So because at that time I have a very high self-esteem. So yeah, I think after around 30 minutes of trying to find my way to his house, I gave up. Then I then called him to pick me up at the first intersection, and that we finally arrived. I finally arrived at his house. Yeah, I think that's all.
Okay, so we're going to move to another session. So the next is, I will ask some questions, and you're going to answer it. Okay.
Okay.
So the first is, do you wonder why there are some people who never get lost?
I always wondered why. Maybe they have some kind of photographic memory or something like that, or maybe they have a good memory in general, or maybe I'm just bad and it in memorizing place or recognizing place. So because at that time I got lost, I didn't know, or maybe still I don't know what my surroundings are. I never pay any attention to my surroundings, so I never recognize them, and then I got lost. Maybe for those people who are not never getting lost, they pay attention to their surroundings, and and recognize the way to their destinations. So yeah, I think that's all.
What do you think people can do not to get lost?
I honestly don't know because I always lost my way. But I think people can learn how to use GPS or maybe read the maps and try to pay attention to their surroundings and remembering the patterns of the way to the destinations. Like after we go to the first destination, we must go straight or left or anything or yeah, like that, and then go left and then go right or go straight again or yeah, something like that, I think. And then using GPS is very, very useful in general, I think. And if you don't have GPS, just use maps. But before that, you need to learn how to read a maps and yeah. So
Do you prefer electronic or paper maps, and why?
uh, I I need I neither prefer both of those because uh, I I don't know how to use them. Basically because I don't I don't know how to read a map because I never use maps in the first place and never learned how to read it. But if I have to choose one, I think I will choose electronic maps because it's easier to get. Like you can just type maps.google.com and there you go. You have the electronic maps and can type the place you want to show or you want to search. Yeah, I think I will choose electronic maps.
How do you feel if you get lost at the same area again?
This is pretty embarrassing, but I will definitely never forgive myself. Until this day, I still easily got lost because I am an ignorant. Yeah, like I said before, I never pay any attention to my surroundings or bad at using GPS or my and cannot read maps. Yeah, I think I would never forgive myself. But the thing is, uh, I will try to, you know, I I will try to pay attention to my surroundings so I never got lost again on my way. So and then I will learn to how to use GPS and how to read maps. Yeah. So yeah, I will never forgive myself if I got lost again. That's the core,
Okay,
the
so the
point.
last question is, do you think the local authority should give more road signs, especially in housing area?
Oh yeah. I think the local authorities need to give more road signs because you know at Pondok Makmur they don't have a lot of road signs and basically there is almost no road signs to begin with or to read or maybe to recognize. So yeah, I think the local authority need to give more road signs, especially at the in the housing area because it's pretty confusing sometimes to find the way because some roads have this similar pattern and similar similar size or maybe or maybe any similarity with every other roads. Yeah, I think that's all.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Henny. I think that's all the time we have. Thank you for your responses. Yeah, so have a nice day.
Okay, thank you. Hello, good morning. What's your name?
Good morning. My name is Rama Faidzin.
Okay, Mr. Rama. So we are here to do the IELTS test. But before we jump into the questions, please describe the time uh, when you had to communicate in a foreign language.
Okay, so the first time that I communicate in a foreign language is when I was 9 or 10 years old. So it's in primary school, around grade 5 or 6. So I was really little back then. I was well, still kind of like a kid. And at the time, the language that I learn or that I communicate is English. So that's the first foreign language that I communicate with is English. And I communicate I communicate it with my friends online, like my friends abroad outside of Indonesia, because I joined like a community back then in it's some sort of like a forum, like a community, specifically about gaming or video game. So yeah, I make friends there, and I mostly talk or wrote in English or in this foreign language about video game. Like for example, like I talk about the characters of the video game, like how they look like and what their characters look like. What are their personality? Like are they bad or are they good? And like the story of the video game itself. And I think the first time that I communicated in a foreign language, especially English, is I felt very proud because I don't know, it's like a very fulfilling thing to to have that such skill, like to master a foreign language or to use a foreign language. In this case that I use is English, and English is one of the hardest language. So yeah, I felt very proud.
Okay, thank you, Rama. So let's jump into the questions. But before that, as you can expect, this IELTS test is about foreign language. So yeah, get ready.
Okay.
First question: why do people want to learn a foreign language?
Okay, so I think people want to learn a foreign language is that they want to improve their skill. And for example, like they just want to, like maybe they're getting bored and they want to, improve their skill. Like, so they try to learn other language, in order to, to fill that void, And I think other reason is that it can be like uh, the person uh, wants to know other countries' culture, and yeah, to know one's country culture is through their language, because language can help us immerse into the culture. So yeah, maybe that's the reason uh, they want to learn a foreign language. And the other reason is that because of work, maybe because, for example, like if you take English as an example, English is an international language and it's almost a requirement for jobs. So yeah, maybe people want to learn a foreign language is because of work or job. So yeah.
Okay. Is speaking in a foreign language easier than reading it?
For me personally, I think speaking is harder because it is spontaneous, like we have to gather all the words, like form the sentence like very fast, and we don't have that much time to, think it carefully, uh, like maybe if we, you know, I don't know, let's just very, very careful. Like you have to be very careful to speak. And yeah, you don't have that much time to think. Meanwhile, reading is easier because the text is already there. Like you don't have to think about it again. So you just read it out loud. Yeah.
Okay. When learning a foreign language, which is easier, speaking or writing?
I think writing is easier because, like I said in the question, in the previous question, is speaking is really spontaneous and it is really, really hard thing to do. It's really hard. Yeah, it's a really hard thing to do. So I think writing is easier because we have much time to, to form a sentence, like to make it perfect. And yeah, I think writing is easier because of that.
Is spoken language more important than written?
For me, yes. Spoken is really, really important because, spoken language, spoken language is, is very useful if you are interact with each other, like real time, because spoken is real time and direct. So yeah, it is very useful for, interaction with each other. Like for example, like we're talking or having a dialogue or discussion. So yeah, it is very, very, it's more important than written, I think.
Okay, last question. Do you think minority languages will disappear?
Okay, so I think yes, because the minority is always marginalized, and of course we don't really look at, yeah, like we don't really look at the minority. We just look at the majority because the majority is dominating. And well, about the thing that it will disappear or not, I think uh, no. If we preserve and try to learn it or try to understand the minority language, I think there's a small chance that it will not disappear. But for now, I think yes, I think it will disappear because there is no like a significant move that makes that raise awareness about the minority languages that you know that are extinct, almost extinct. So yeah, I think it will disappear because also because there are some cases that minority languages are disappearing. So yeah, I think it will.
Okay, thank you, Rama. That's all 5 questions answered by you. So thank you for participating. And good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.